Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's topic video where we're going to be discussing remastered maps. Now, I haven't got anything scripted, this is coming straight from my mind, but I want to talk about remastered maps, especially zombies maps, because it's been a hot topic recently where influencer commented that they don't want to see remastered maps in the next Call of Duty Zombies game, and a lot of people backed them up. And I just wanted to share my own opinions to essentially lay out what I think. And I think some people may generally feel the same way. And I hope some people feel the same way. Otherwise, I'm an outsider. But anyways, let's talk about it. With these talks from influencers, they have a general feeling that remastered maps or remakes of maps, too many of them can be an issue. And I completely agree. Of course, we look at Black Ops 4 Zombies, we had 4 new maps and we had 4 remakes, I guess in a sense. They were different from their old counterparts, and essentially what happened is that in new areas, maybe new Easter eggs, things like that nature. Now, it would be unfair to call these just remakes because of course they feel different, they all play different. I think the only map that doesn't play different in BO4 Zombies is probably Classified. It plays somewhat similar, the only differences are pretty much that the game is easier, and I think all people will agree that the game feels a lot easier in BO4 than it did in BO1. Now, Blood of the Dead is also completely different from Mob of the Dead. Of course, the core mechanic, the afterlife, isn't even in Blood of the Dead. So that just puts that completely out there. And then we also have Alpha Omega, which is 4 times the size of what Nuketown was back in BO2. And we also got Tag the Totem, which definitely doesn't play anything like Call of the Dead. So I think it is fair to say that nostalgia sells. Everyone knows that nostalgia sells. I think what the issue is, too many of them causes the issue. When you have too much old compared to the new, then that's the issue. Of course, it's 50-50 between remakes and new maps within BO4. And that's because the Chaos story took the place of the new maps and the Ava story took place of the older maps. Now, I think that if you look and actually made at least 5 new maps, which is what we're used to in a year, and you spread that out across the year, then that will be all fine. So I think if you had, let's say, a new map every 3 months after launch and one at launch, that is what everyone expects. That's what we usually got in BO1, BO2, and BO3. I think that is kind of the system that we've grown up with and we all want. Now, the way I would see it changing is because nostalgia does sell, I do not care, or do not mind, I guess would be a better word, if they make remastered maps in between the seasons. Now, I know some people might think that'll take time away from these new maps, and I agree, it will take some time away, but I feel like the nostalgia sales point would actually benefit the newer systems that we saw added in Modern Warfare. Of course, we want more people playing the game, and they probably want more characters within the Zombies mode, so they can sell MTX through the stores and things of that nature. Because there's no way that we won't be able to customize our Zombies characters, maybe different voice lines. I doubt that'll be a thing, but just in case, maybe. I feel like that's something that they want, and that is actually good for the Zombies community, because if we have more characters and more people, you don't have to partake. If more people are buying content for these characters, then Activision will see, oh, this mode is actually selling and working, we can put a bit more budget into the mode. Of course, we saw Spec Ops kind of get cut maybe in December. There hasn't really been any major new operations or content there. So personally for me, I feel like if you have new maps spread out across the year, and with me a couple remakes here and there, maybe one at launch and maybe another 2 throughout the year, maybe somewhere along there, and then maybe some per season. That to me is completely fine, because I feel like that will help zombies in the long run. Over we just have new maps, we only have maybe 5 of them in a year, and we have these 4 characters. Again, MTX does go a long way in these later years, and I think that nostalgic maps will help get there, especially if it adds new characters. Anyways, guys, you can let me know how you feel about my opinion. Of course, I try to look at this from a perspective of the players, and also perspective business-wise. Of course, most people think about what would be cool for us, but they don't really necessarily think, okay, we need to think about the business side of things as well, because they can obviously do what's best for the players, but if it's not making money, then they can just cut it. They can especially cut it this year, because we're not buying into any like legal thing. Of course, previous years we bought into a season pass, we were guaranteed these maps. Now, we're not guaranteed anything. And I want people to be aware that we're not guaranteed anything. If Zombies does poorly at launch, they may do one map and then go, no, let's say we're cutting budget, it's not successful. They can do that, and it's legal for them to do that, and they can do whatever they want with content. So I feel like it's an interesting topic, and it's also an interesting balancing act, and I think people need to be made more aware of that nature. Anyways, guys, let me know what you thought about my opinions, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.